Hello, hello.
10:15 on November 12th, thank you, 2021. And it's time for you guys.
It's the day after your freaking birthday,
shut the fuck up. You're a guest.
He's had a few drinks, I do believe.
Yes, your guest. It is time for you to get your fill of the Very Orange live stream. I am your erstwhile host, Dren, otherwise known as the Super Genius Wiley, along with my co-hosts,
Young Brandon.
And
I'm looking frozen for some reason.
Well, you look fine. You look fine to me, boo. You always look fine to me. And we have our guest, the eminently qualified, unbiased leader, otherwise known as Robin Richards of the North Cobb County, Georgia Richards, who now resides in Athens, Georgia. Who have gracious of my heart allowed to be around my children and eat food in my house and sleep in one of my beds.
Bravo, sir.
Yes. I my duty as a humane being, of course.
Yeah.
It's Georgia week.
It is.
Them doggies is coming to town. And Robin, remember, just because Uga does it doesn't mean you can.
Hey, we got a viewer.
That dog will bite you.
Just ask Robert Baker.
That dog will bite you. Ask Louis Gazard about that sometime. So we're nicely hyped up game. Georgia comes in hot as a firecracker.
Whoa. Before you get to that.
All right.
Let's hit the rewind button.
Oh.
To that beautiful Kentucky team that is so great and so magnificent and was definitely going to beat us as predicted by fearless leader there.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about that.
We broke Kentucky for you. You're welcome.
Mississippi State broke Kentucky. Thanks.
We put the crack in it first.
Okay.
So.
I think the moonshine broke Kentucky.
Bourbon, dude. It's bourbon country. Come on.
Yeah.
They're all drinking bourbon. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So what you think of the game, Dren?
Offensively, I thought as usual we the game plan was good. When you score on your first two touchdowns are 70 plus yards.
When you scored in 11 seconds.
Yeah, well that's nice too. I thought the defense was mediocre would be kind. With exception of, Alante did get the pick six, and we were able to get some pressure on him, but we still left them on the field for 99 plays.
This is true.
That cannot happen tomorrow.
No.
Even 70 plays. It's gonna be too much.
Well, as the great prognosticator,
Ballnack.
Sure.
Yeah.
My thoughts on Mr. Evans are thus. I didn't want to get in English. I think they kept him out of that Kentucky game for the, I want to put air quotes around it, biggest game of the season for the Vols.
No, this is, yeah. This is
definitely. But I think Evans is. I think they held him back, and they said, "Well, this might be an injury. Let's kind of put him aside here, see what we can do."
No, it's not. To be honest with you,
no, it's not.
No,
I was just curious.
Yeah.
We
know you carry from the world.
Shut
up.
Hey, Mikey.
Oh.
What is up, guys? How's it going?
Here's one all-day brother that's got the balls to show himself on our show.
Finally, an all-day brother.
Finally, an all-day shows up.
Look,
Yeah.
I've got fish sticks in the oven. I got to leave in 7 minutes, but I thought I'd check in and say what's going on.
Is that a euphemism for
brother,
something?
priorities.
Yes, priorities: fish sticks and fries, buddy.
All right, we'll talk your shit and go eat your grub.
No, I just want to say, hey, Robin, how's it going, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while.
Talk your
Good.
grub
Okay.
and go eat your shit.
Talk your grub, eat your shit.
Okay, cool.
So, Mikey,
Give me a talking point.
Any grand?
What's your hat, sir?
It is a
Clemson hat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Clemson hat. Yes.
this is my dove hunting cap.
Your dove hunting cap.
Yeah.
All right.
I was sitting here and my hair is extra kind of something. So
Look,
So
you're
I just-
preaching to the choir if you.
just grab the cap. It was perfect.
There is a time I used to love dove hunting, then I almost got my shit shot up. That ended. So ain't nothing like walking out in the middle of the dove field.
Do you know Mr. Cheney by any chance?
30 people over your head.
That's
didn't even
you
hear
watch
it.
the barrel. When the barrel's parallel to the ground, you stay away.
When you see a 17-year-old 6'3.5" kid walking the field picking up a bird, you don't shoot in the fucking field. You don't shoot over his head.
I've never had the problem with the 6'3.5" part, so that's
Oh God, I don't even want to. I'll tell you about it someday. It was not fun. It was funny now. It wasn't funny then.
All right, we were just going over the Kentucky game and how that went. Any thoughts on that, sir?
I have to admit that I was kind of like Mitch. I was drinking the Big Blue Kool-Aid earlier on in the year, and never cared for blue Kool-Aid though. So I'm not surprised that it went bad. And obviously, you know, the fairer orange has have proven themselves quite a bit over the last few weeks, looking good.
I mean, we're getting better. Our offense is getting better. It's being more consistent week to week. I mean, this is the first. Georgia has not seen an offense like this yet.
Look,
So
if I'm being honest,
that in of itself is going to be a challenge. I mean, I heard a guy from one sportsbook on the radio today that was saying Georgia hasn't given up more than 13 points in the game this year. That streak ends this week. He said
it'll be 14.
He said that the action is to bet the over, which is 56.
well, there's that one guy watching. I think his last name is shared on this. That's usually his watching anyway.
So 42.
I said 40. That's
what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not fair. You guys are in the same room. You can't talk to each other like that.
I'm happy as hell right now.
His mic's me. He's talking about my mic is what's catching him. So I mean, if he's not, I can shut that shit down real quick.
So I know how to mute now.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy for this season that they've come this far this quickly.
Yeah, I mean 7 wins. We said we'd be happy with 6.
Yeah,
7 is like okay. That most prognosticators have us if we win out with 7, going to the Dukes Bowl in Charlotte, playing a litany of ACC teams.
Since everybody's right here, we got some perspectives, and we were talking about this earlier. I'd like to touch on the Jimbo Fisher situation.
Would you like to purchase his house?
And you sir, were talking about it. I know. What do y'all think?
I think he's going to go. A&M was short-sighted enough to sign him to a contract extension that did not factor in a buyout if he left for.
That's weird, dude. That's just bad business.
It's not unheard of. I mean, hell, LSU did the same thing when they had Saban. That's why Saban had to pay anything when they went to the NFL. They're so desperate to get rid of Jerry DiNardo, they've hired Saban out of Michigan State with a buyout.
Here's what I
Go ahead.
Speaking of Michigan State, there goes that LSU job.
Mel's not coming. He just got a huge raise.
Yeah, he got a big one.
I'm praying that Tony Elliott spills a little bit of orange a little bit of bleach on his orange and makes it purple and yellow instead of purple and orange. I know that's probably not going to happen, but a guy can dream.
So, paint me a picture here, Miguel, as it were. What are the pieces of this puzzle that need to be put into place for this dream to happen, do you think?
I mean, I think at this point, for me, like as far as in the real Death Valley, it would be for us to hope for Florida Atlantic or Jacksonville State or anybody, a group of five, maybe a lower level Power 5 job to come open and get Tony Elliott out of there. I mean, that's the only thing that I care about at this point. And I don't know. I think
you think Dabo would fire him at the end of the season if he doesn't get hired somewhere else?
Well, I think that as many offensive recruits that are kind of iffy on committing, I think a lot of that stems from Tony Elliott still being there, because they don't see themselves developing in program with Elliott running things. There've been at least 3 that have said that they would choose Clemson if Tony Elliott wasn't there.
So and
Arch Manning being probably the highlight of that. Well, definitely the highlight of that. But there's been a couple of others that I've seen, and likewise LSU was in the same boat with people saying we're not going to LSU if Otron's still there. They're fixing their thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the word I keep hearing is, of course, Jimbo the LSU, which I tend to buy. USC apparently really wants Luke Fickell, which I
don't see that happening.
I don't see him taking his wife and those 6 kids to California. I think he's pretty happy where he is. Yeah. Jack, of course, you mentioned Jack State. Their coach basically is retiring. He doesn't want to have to recruit on a D1 FBS level.
Do you think there's any way in hell that Dabo Okay, Mitch has left a lot of comments.
Get your ass in here.
Any way that Dabo goes to LSU?
Get to bed and get your ass in here. Quit typing and start talking.
Well, my mom's in town visiting him too.
Oh, it's true.
So
yeah.
I remember him saying something about that.
I hope you hear me cussing.
But no,
himself.
I think that Dabo can be taken right now. I really do. It's just a matter of the right money.
Level
I honestly think this is not Dabo. I think there's only one job that Dabo would absolutely leave Clemson for, and he's got to wait for a retirement to happen.
I don't think it's Alabama. I mean, his cell phone is still on some real estate signs around Tuscaloosa. I don't think that's his end game. I think that he would go to the NFL first. Not that the NFL would probably have him, but
Jacksonville's probably going to be hiring.
Yeah, well, and he knows the quarterback and the running back.
Vegas is going to be hiring too.
Does anybody know?
Unless Gruden can do his way back into the job.
Anyway, I know I've been extremely exciting thus far, but I do have to go. I just want to drop in and say hi to you guys and
Hey,
say
it's
hi to
good to see you,
Robin.
man.
Good to see you,
Good
buddy.
to see you.
Finish your fish sticks. Come back. We'll let you
If
back.
you guys
in.
are still on, I might.
We'll be
Later, guys.
here for a while.
All right.
We'll be here for at least 45, I would think.
I made like
but
15 fish sticks though, so there's.
go enjoy your tartar sauce with your fish
See you guys.
sticks. See you.
See you, man.
But go ahead, Brandon.
So who's the DGD podcast?
That is Robert Reynolds.
Okay. Robert Reynolds.
Nice guy.
Hello, sir. So a little quiz action for you, Dren, and I'm sure you'll know the answer to this. 30 years ago, yesterday,
Notre Dame, Miracle in South Bend. I remember where I was when the Aaron Hayden scored on that screen pass.
Well, give us a story there, sir.
Well, let's go back to the year before. Year before, I was sitting in the south end zone. And if Greg Amsler hadn't been a slow white boy, we would have won that ball game. But he got outrun. He got outrun by a safety and the ball got picked off in the end zone. Tennessee had scored to get it within 6. So we recovered the onside kick, and we failed at the end. We went into South Bend the next year, a little bit more depleted in the receiver corps because Carl Pickens left as a junior. He was our top receiver that year, and not really, expecting to do all that well. We had lost to Alabama again, as we did between 1986 and 1990.
I'm about to bring all the three of us together here before we go to the game tomorrow.
Yes.
I would be willing to place money on it. All three of us dislike Notre Dame.
I used to be vigorant about it. I'm more kind of ambivalent about it these days. Do I like them? Not particularly. Do I hate them anymore?
Hate is a strong word, but yeah. I always think they're overranked.
Hate is a strong word. I kind of like them for the fact that we've never lost to them.
Oh, well, yeah.
We're 3-0 against Notre Dame. So, I like that.
Roll it on in. Let's play them again.
Yeah, we lost the last game we played against them in 2004. It's when Randy Sanders made the move that got him fired and possibly sped Eric Ainge onto his dependency issues when he got dumped on his shoulder at the last play of the second half or last play of the first half, and brought on the rise of Rick Clausen.
A little more trivia this time for the Georgia fan. Who were the SEC Players of the Week last week?
I'm trying to remember who the heck we played last week. Missouri. Right?
You could probably guess what team they played for.
I'm moving my camera, so you're not in my camera anymore.
I didn't know I was in your camera.
You are a little bit.
I'm such a larger than life kind of guy. Who?
Hendon Hooker and Cade Mays.
There you go, sir.
He's got that finger fixed yet?
That's his dad.
Well, has his dad got that finger fixed yet?
Mm-hmm.
Does he stay away from chairs?
No. As long as Georgia's going to pay him to.
Yeah. How's Cade done against us so far?
Yeah. He hadn't given up a sack this year. So we'll see.
We'll Jordan Davis may have something to say about that.
We'll see.
Yeah, right.
We'll see. All right. So Enough of
I
that.
mean, we had a great game last week. I'm
Yes,
not
we
going to
did.
lie.
If Mizzou beats Florida, I will shit myself live next show.
What is this?
From our friend the DGD podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Hooker is a great player. Kept up with him from Dudley here in Greensboro.
Yep. Greensboro native.
Look,
Dad was probably the number one quarterback in the history of North Carolina A&T. His brother's actually a backup at A&T now.
but I'll just put my 2 cents worth in. If y'all don't like it, I'll just mute both of you. I've reached a point in my life where, hell yeah, I'm going to root for the Vols each and every game, every season. Doesn't matter. But I don't have that. Maybe it's because I've learned don't associate with people that act like assholes. I don't get my blood doesn't get boiling when people say things anymore. Like, oh, well, you're the rootinest, tootinest, you Georgia fan. Like, man, we'll see what happens on the field.
Is Yosemite Sam in the house or anything?
I mean, there have been times where I've almost had fisticuffs with fans, mostly with other Tennessee fans. I literally got
the same.
I literally got pissed on by an Alabama fan one time, and had my father not been with me at the time, I would have ended up in jail because I was going for the guy. I was going to give as good as I got, and he probably outweighed. I was 17, and he was probably 40, and I was like reaching for him. My dad's like, I don't have bail money. Let's go. Walking me, frog marching me out of the bathroom. And then the last time was in 2001 against MTSU. My sister and brother-in-law came with me, and they were cheering for Middle, and we got sent to the wrong seats, and this asshole UT season ticket holder got in their faces, and I basically told him if he didn't back off, I was going to rip his head off.
There's a
reason why they call us tuttas. Do you know what a tutta is, incidentally?
A what?
A tutta.
Tutta?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Well, it's actually a typical UT asshole.
Oh,
yeah.
Like I've said before.
It's a Vanderbilt term for us.
No, of course.
Yes.
No, I've always said before, Georgia games would be great if it wasn't for Georgia fans.
Yeah.
And they're usually the ones that didn't go there.
Yeah, it's not the people with a college education.
I mean, I'm a double dog, and
well,
I'm just glad to be there.
I grew up going to games. I didn't go to Tennessee for a very specific reason. I knew if I went there, if I had attended, I would not have graduated. So I didn't even apply.
I'm probably in that boat.
I knew myself that well. I would have spent more time studying at the library, and it ain't the one. It ain't the one with the books.
Right.
No crumbling.
I've got personal reasons that I'm not going to get into right now, but if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it.
All right.
And I'm going to start with our guest here. I'm going to pose the question like this. Y'all are number one, and for a very good reason, kicking ass out there. Explain to me what you think the chinks in the armor are.
Well, someone tried to make the case that, there is some of a case, but this guy was also a tech grad, so he was trying to dig as deep as you might know who I'm talking about. But anyway, I read this where he basically says that Georgia has been slow to score in several games. I think the Auburn game, it was 3-0 at the end of the first, and then the floodgates opened at that point. There were times even in the Missouri game, which I was at, that Georgia is a little slow to get the rhythm going against a team. And one of the things about us is say what you want. There are times I swear we play down to our opponent's level.
Okay.
And not as much as we once did. Like Arkansas, I mean, I didn't get to see any of that game. I only got updates, but I was thinking it was going to be, a hell of a lot closer than it really was. I wasn't expecting a shutout. Kentucky played us a little, although, I mean, the last touchdown was trash.
Yeah.
Missouri always gives us fits. I mean, I don't care who's playing where. Missouri traditionally gives us fits, and So to me, the one crack in the armor could well be our ability to get scoring rhythms going,
which is really and truly our best shot at making any kind of impact. Because if we can go down the field really quickly, if we can take the ball, opening kickoff, and go down the field and score, and then Georgia has their classic slow start, and then get the ball back and go down again and get up 14-0 in the first quarter. And I'm saying if, I mean, it's just, I kind of use the analogy. This could be Georgia's Arkansas game, like our 98 Arkansas games. Turner fumbles the ball. We something.
Or Pig loses the ball.
Robert here said for UGA.
That's not good. Pig Howard loses the ball in the end zone. That's another good
I need to see us score when we need to.
Yes.
Which is every time we have the ball.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's how most teams.
And that's what, it's very yin and yang, this game, or on paper anyway.
But you will also have noticed that usually second quarter, halftime, the adjustments begin, the defense wears down the offense, and then, on my command, unleash hell begins.
That's what happened against Florida.
That's a funny story about that. Long story short, I checked the score right before halftime. It was 3-0. My buddies are texting like mad to each other on our group chat. My phone's buzzing. I can't look at it because I'm doing something. And then I look down and like, holy crap, it's 24-0
and
that was Scott Howard and Eric Zier's reaction too. Because I was listening to the game and the U.S. just scored against Mexico. It's 1-0.
Hey, awesome.
Yep.
USA.
And Robert here.
I believe we will win.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. If you want to, come talk to us. He makes the very good point that we've had our defense, the Vols, on the field a ton, and we don't have that depth.
That's that with the depth we have, that's a very.
And then he's saying Georgia's depth on defense allows us to stay fresh all game, which was brought up to me by a certain duo that has some sort of go behind the bush and pee or some kind of show.
Hide the slinky, I guess,
It was maybe revolutionary to them because Georgia hadn't done it before.
Yeah.
But they were like, you see, what we do is we've got fresh guys in there all the time. And all it reminded me of was like, well, 60 years. That's exactly what Bear Bryant started doing a long time ago. He's the first one getting the freshmen out there playing ball with the seniors and sophomores and whatever. They couldn't do it until the 70s.
I mean, honestly, I mean, when was the Marshall plane crash? 71?
71, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Marshall plane crash was really what got that ball rolling, because if the NCAA didn't allow freshmen to play, Marshall can't.
Well, right. There's
because the 50
Okay.
last year. That's right.
Yeah, they can't field the team. So, I mean, and I got accused of being like, why is Georgia always? Why is everybody like saying, well, look out, Georgia, somebody's going to get you. And they don't do that to Alabama. And I'm like, well, I mean, let's look at
Alabama's proven themselves.
Yeah, they have. But I mean, and I said at the beginning of the year, and I stick by it. This is Georgia's year.
Yeah. No,
I was flat out convinced. I said, look, they're going to be Clemson, guys. You're going to if they don't do it now, when are they going to do it? This is the best team that Kirby's had. I mean, it's put up or shut up time.
To be quite honest, as someone who had to deal with Ray Goff's last year in Jim Donnan's first season.
Who? Ray Goo? Who?
Yeah, exactly. He's opening at Zaxby's tomorrow morning, I think. I'm still cautiously optimistic, even though we're 9-0, and this is only the 8th season since 1892 that Georgia's been 9-0 ever. I'm always waiting for that shoe to drop. That's just how I am. I mean, we might be up 50-0 in the national championship, and I'm still going to be, well, here we go. And that's just, that's just kind of how Georgia fans are. I'm believing. I am believing, but then again, I was believing when it was going to be JT Daniels.
Therein lies the verisimilitude between among football fans, because I mean, in a very much smaller scale, I remember back in the Missouri game, we're up 35-0 in the first quarter, and I text Brandon and go, Brandon, why am I so scared right now?
Yeah, no, and I was feeling the exact same way.
It's we could still lose.
I was like,
right.
I mean, there's a name for it, kind of unofficial, Munsonitis.
Munsonitis, okay,
yeah, Munsonitis or Munsonism.
Mm.
We're always down on ourselves, but
Roy.
Roy.
Robert here said 2007 UGA still hurts him too damn much.
2007, 2012.
Yeah.
That hurts me more than anything.
He also said he thought the talent also plays a part in the continuous swapping of players in and out on the field, and having the confidence in playing lesser known guys.
Yes.
Been pleasant.
Well, Robin, I had asked this question of the group chat earlier in the week, which you weren't a part of at that time. How much credit does Muschamp get for this defense? Do you think he gets or should get?
What do you think about that, Robin?
He's been working mostly with the special team since what's-his-face had to step aside.
Supposedly,
yeah, that's an interesting branch to go down later. I would say a little. If you had to ask a percentage,
15%, he said.
30, and I'm being generous because also the Ole Miss guy,
Matt Luke.
Yeah, Matt Luke. Yeah.
I think you multiply that by 3, and you're getting closer, like 45%.
Possibly, yeah. I'm saying somewhere in the 30s and 40s, perhaps. Muschamp's had a little to do with that. But we all know who the defensive king on the team is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kirby.
And his ego won't let him let somebody take over.
No.
He brings another damn good defensive mind and great recruiter. Muschamp's a great recruiter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure that's who he's talking about.
I think that's what I read. That
I would say great might be a stretch, but he's gotten some good talent. I mean,
I love the expression that's frozen on your face.
Yeah, no.
It finally.
It's kind of funny on my phone. I had the spinning circle of death on black screens for all three of us.
You're buffering. It's like the
and
now, baby.
His face was kind of funny. It's like those AT&T commercials.
Yeah. Perfect.
He said yes. He was talking about Muschamp. You know what though? After the shit he said about Tennessee and not ever taking the time, cover your ears. Fuck Will Muschamp.
I have never been more happy to see a coach be unemployed in my life.
Oh, me either.
Will Muschamp lost his job at South Carolina.
Well,
I was like,
the
how
Wayne train when he's unemployed
now, you piece of shit. You know, I just, you know, he just famous last words. Now, granted, I mean, here's a question for you. Would now, knowing what we know now, would we have taken Muschamp over Pruitt?
No,
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
Probably not.
No.
But you know, it's
no, and you know that's what I like so much about Heupel is his demeanor, the way he communicates is so 180 degrees.
It's the most positive vibe that we've gotten all the way around.
I know, and look at the product it's produced.
I mean, you know, Kiffin was an arrogant little brat. Dooley was a stuck up snob.
Well, you expect that from Clark Central graduates. So yes.
Okay.
Go Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was I mean, stuck to the extreme. He turned away people.
Yeah.
But Butch is a phony.
Yeah.
Was and is a phony.
It was so funny when I read. It was like verbatim what he was saying at UT. When it was like, what he says all this shit in Cincinnati is brick by brick kind of. It's like, dude.
And the funniest thing about Heupel that I've noticed on my end of the stick, you don't hear anything from him. I almost kind of forgot who was coaching Tennessee. And I had to remember, and I'm trying to remember who the heck is coaching Auburn right now, and I can't even remember his name. That's kind of what's been going on with you guys. Is like he's just getting things done, and he's not out there talking about popcorn, like
not a drama and all this other.
Yeah, no, I mean it's exactly. It's like
I'm good with
that. Coaching Tennessee, it's like he's under the radar. So I think y'all did good.
Okay, so moving forward a little bit, we're at 37 minutes. Sir, do you want to make any picks? Me and Dren made picks on Tuesday. Any interest in making picks?
Why not?
Do we know what the line is currently
for Georgia?
I've just got the ones from Tuesday that are still up here.
It's still 21.
Well, let's see what ESPN says.
Okay, I'm going to go with the first one here.
And
I've got to imagine that hasn't changed, if at all, like drastically. I mean,
yeah, I'm looking. Hold on. Georgia's still 88. Yeah, it's still 20. It's 20. It's gone down half a point.
Okay.
Over still 56, and according to the matchup predictor, Georgia is still an 88 points.
Well, do you just want to talk about the one game, or do you want to make the picks we looked at?
You want to do all of them, or you just want to do one?
Bring them all.
Right.
Why not?
Okay. Well, there's the first one, sir. That is Mississippi State and Auburn. At Auburn.
Yeah, Mike Leach is not the Jolly Roger right now. I would go with Auburn. Again, it's kind of one of those weird things. Once they play Georgia, they break, and then somehow they get better in the process. But I would go with Auburn. And I'd say Auburn by 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I chose Auburn. Hell,
I don't even. Auburn. And it's at home because we all know what strange things tend to happen on the plains. And 2-0 US. Yeah, Auburn by 10 on that one.
And just to add a note about that game, for about a nanosecond, Mike Leach was mentioned for the Texas Tech job. Which logically they didn't do something stupid and go after him to bring him back. But something in the back of my mind makes me think, well, does he want to stay in Stark Vegas?
I assume that's Mikey or Mitch.
America, by the way.
What are y'all thinking the score will be between Georgia and Tennessee?
I said 41-28. Them. I'll stick to that. I think we cover
41-28.
I'm going to conjure up an old score, and I firmly think we're going to palindrome you guys again, 41-14, just like 2003.
Huh.
You will score more points against us. There's that. You'll score 14 instead of 13.
Y'all are giving us 20.
I will put it. Tennessee won't score a trash touchdown. I'll put it that way.
I wouldn't be surprised to see us score a defensive touchdown. Tomorrow.
Y'all won't score those touchdowns. Will be probably in the first half. Yeah.
So you think Tennessee comes out swinging?
I think
things kind of settle in.
You're going to have to.
If we're not throwing haymakers from the first whistle, it's going to be.
I agree. I'm just, giving a little summary. Even though I said money line with an alliterative curse word at the end of it.
I'll take that score against Georgia.
I think Tennessee will cover.
Yep.
What that kid's definitely hurt, that receiver.
Yep.
Do you think that makes an impact, Robin?
Arian? Nah. We still got I almost called him what I
the lad
McConkey.
The lad from Chatsworth.
Yeah. Bowers.
Former
good in that. Arian wasn't getting much in the football catching department very well anyway. So yeah, I think we'll be fine with that.
How much does Anderson being in custody currently affect the team? Is it
I don't think it is. You saw the Missouri game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, he was,
and by that point, he was just suspended.
He hadn't turned himself in.
And he turned himself in Wednesday. And, that whole team mindset thing that Kirby's been talking about and the whole rat poison thing, I think that's kind of feeded it. It's just taken care of itself.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be an issue.
I'll take that score against Georgia. Facebook user, which I assume is Mikey or Mitch.
Nah, it's probably not Mikey.
No.
You don't think?
Mikey doesn't think we're going to score at all against him. He didn't say. He pretty much said that on Tuesday.
Oh, it's Chris Smith. Hey, Smitty. We'll miss you at the football game.
Yeah, man. Well, he's going to be there, ain't he?
Well, I mean, unless if he just wants to come tailgate with us, he's welcome.
Hell yeah.
We can.
We won't tell the general public where we're going to be. We don't get mobbed.
No, I wasn't about to say that shit.
We don't want any.
Damn, I got a little bit of sense. Anyway, getting to my point, I think we're going to cover.
I can't.
I want to say like a 35-20, perhaps, kind of score, something like that. Yeah. If we win, it doesn't matter when I get back here. We're going on the air. It might be 1:00 in the morning.
Hell, we can do it from my basement,
or we can do it from your basement.
Mm-hmm. We can get back here, pile in, lock the kids up, pull out the booze, and
wake up.
Exactly.
You'll be fishing my body out of the Tennessee River at that point.
Oh,
be the anti Buck Blue. That was the best line. That was the best.
I got a good question for you.
Hold on.
I know what he's.
Let me finish this thought. The best line from the 0-1 game wasn't Munson's. Wasn't Munson's hobnail boot.
No
comment. Munson goes, "My God, Where are their fans? And Buck Bellew, who was probably
I think it might have
crying.
been Scott Howard.
No, it wasn't Howard.
Was it?
I think it was
sounds
Buck.
like something Howard would say.
I think it
but
was
anyway,
Buck.
Okay.
Because I thought it was Buck. I think it was Buck because he was crying when he said it. He was like, because it's the first time they'd beaten us in Knoxville since '80, and he goes, "Check the river."
Someone check.
We probably jumped in. My God, where are their fans? I remember where I was for that game too.
I thought Mitch brought up a good point the other night, saying that this could be a win-win for both teams.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And what I was going to say, and didn't really, didn't we have 6 on Tuesday?
Yeah, we
We're like a bunch of damn cackling hens in there.
Yeah.
I think if Tennessee shows up, plays a good game, I think it does a hell of a lot for recruiting. You're a coach in his first season. You play the number 1 team in the nation. Even if you lose to him, if you put up a good fight, I would consider that a win.
Okay. Question: if you're Tennessee,
You
win the toss.
Mm-hmm.
You take the ball first.
Yes.
Not typically. That's not. I like to defer, but with this team and that lightning offense,
absolutely,
I go for the throat. Right.
I'm a 3 yards in a cloud of dust guy, so I'd rather defer, but yeah.
Sir, if you say that one more time on this show, I picture balloons dropping and like confetti everywhere. And
every time Wiley says 3 yards in a cloud of dust, do a shot.
You'll be snookered by halftime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to say about this Tennessee Georgia game. More, unless you got something to add, Robin. Think that
I'm looking forward to seeing the circle drills at halftime. Band kids get that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That was a running joke with the band.
Oh.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, congratulations to the Signal Mountain Band. They won the state tournament of bands.
Hopefully their chaperones stayed sober on the trip.
Hopefully.
You have to know the story behind that to get.
I'm sure you'll tell me one day.
Did you happen to see the lady from Michigan? Was a state
the Attorney General. Yes. I thought her response was perfect. He goes, "Look, I'm human. I screw up. Okay."
That is good, but
she handled it beautifully. I
have enough sense not to take a picture of yourself and doing silly shit. You're grown. Come on. Sir, do you want to make any more picks?
What else you got?
We had State and Auburn.
Yeah.
South Carolina and Missouri.
Oh God, this is the bowl.
The Turd Bowl.
Honest to God, riding high after what they did to Florida, I would actually take the Cox.
That's what we did.
Yeah. And forget, I'm saying 8 to 10 range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if Basilak's not playing.
Yeah.
We got the big game, A&M and Ole Miss. Ole Miss giving up 2.5. Or at least on Tuesday they were.
My money is on the Meteor.
Meteor.
Yeah.
You and me both, sir.
Yeah, can't they somehow both lose?
Well,
oh boy.
Well, you got to keep in mind Calzada is being held together with chewing gum and baling wire at this point. Mm-hmm. I went strictly on the strength of their quarterbacks. I went ahead and picked Ole Miss just because Corral, even though Corral's banged up, he's not nearly as banged up as Calzada is.
Yeah, but if that defense can hit him enough times,
he's not turned over the ball. He's been the
only but he's banged up.
Like the ball is our guy.
we'll see. It's real difficult for me to take a Lane Kiffin coach team.
Me too, but I mean,
well, I said A&M.
Who you trust? I trust Corral more than
Ole Miss
Calzada.
by 6. I'm taking the home factor on that one.
That's basically what I said.
All right, and then we got Archie and LSU.
Oh, the Golden Boot. LSU was my West team for a long time.
Yeah.
Even during that period where I almost married an LSU fan, but
long story.
Really long story. But Sam Pittman is a great guy. He was with us for a long time, but Sam Pittman's an awesome guy. So for Dargan, Woo Pig Suey.
That's what I always do for Dargan.
Yeah,
10 to 12 range.
LSU blew their wad last week. They're done.
Yeah, I think they've come to the end of this winning short little trip.
I mean, I'm shocked Coach O is still. I mean, he's a lame duck.
Well, our friend
he didn't step off.
I think he makes a good point when he says LSU is coming at you with like a "fuck you" attitude, and it's just
like, what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was there subtitles?
They
doing his best farmer friend.
Yeah, farmer friend. Yeah.
We don't know Bobby Boucher. We don't know Bobby Boucher.
We're gonna have a farmer friend off going on here in a second.
Oh, thanks, Smitty. You're right, Brandon. Something I can never get enough of. Tennessee has heart, and we will put a fight, and someone's dad out in the recruiting world will take notice. I'm very optimistic about the Vols' future.
Yeah.
This might be the only game where a moral victory is actually a thing.
I
hear about, because you always hear the thing, moral victories. No, what's the point? You guys might actually be the first moral victory that's actually worth something.
Ducati, did you hear that? You mealy mouth, blankety blank. That came out of the mouth of a Georgia fan. Damn it!
Oh hell, it's 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Ducati, did you hear that fucking shit?
Are we outside the FCC hour now?
Oh yeah, fuck the FCC.
Have we entered the blue hour now?
We try to stay PG-13. We try to stay PG-13, keep the 2 F-bombs per show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we routinely
break. We kind of try to do that.
So the over/under is always 2.
We're not
blow it out of the.
We're not generating any revenue off this thing yet. So manners go out the friggin' window, dude.
We're like a soft R.
Yeah, when we finally figure out how to monetize, or Mitch finally figures how to monetize this thing, then we'll worry about sponsors and not pissing them off. We don't have yet.
Or maybe we'll get sponsored by like Hustler or something. We say whatever the hell we want to.
Oh God.
I'm okay either way. As long as some sort of check comes rolling in. I'm good.
I think.
Oh man, I think you just broke me.
I think you would be expecting another form of payment there, Brad.
Woo!
Yeah, Blood. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but so we're kind of hoping at some point Trey Crowder catches one of this and gets on.
Trey Crowder.
Trey Crowder.
What would your NIL offer be for a player? For this?
Well, I tell you. See, Alontae Taylor, who is our senior starting quarterback, defensive captain.
Hashtag Alontae State.
Is from Manchester, Coffee County High School. Only the second UT player in my lifetime to come from that high school. The other one was my dear friend Scott Farah. Rest in peace, Scott. Who played for both Bill Battle and Johnny Majors. But we had talked about, that maybe making a T-shirt hashtag Alante stayed and have him model it and give him a cut, give him a cut of the proceeds. I mean, we tried to get, Walter Nolan an NIL deal with his favorite restaurant in town, a place called Nick and Jay's, but that obviously hasn't worked out. Aggie loving mother. That's one reason I hope Jimbo leaves. He'll maybe have the rug pulled out from under him a little bit. I mean, I want the kid to do what he wants to do, but still, I want him here. But anyway, 55-44, Brando. What we got left, man?
Well, we've got a weird Vol item of the week.
Bring it on.
I just can't find my banner that says such a thing.
Maybe we can get the qualified unbiased leader to model it for us if it's
eminently qualified.
Eminently
unbiased leader.
Well, this was actually Fearless Leader put it up there for us. But I hadn't found it, so I'm not that worried about it.
We'll do two next week.
Yeah, we'll get to it next week.
Getting ready for the Jaguars.
Yeah, the Mighty Jags.
Mighty Jags.
I've enjoyed this one, gentlemen.
It's fun. It was great guest as I knew he would be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I had faith coming in.
He's coming.
Any thoughts? Any shout outs? Anything like that?
Well, tomorrow at 3:30 we're gonna find out.
I will do a shout out real quick. Shout out to my alma mater, North Cobb, who just defeated Camden County something like 44-6, first round of the playoffs. Malachi Singleton. Remember that name?
Malachi Singleton.
Malachi Singleton. He's being courted by just about everybody. He had a 50-yard touchdown run and I think another touchdown run of 60. Ungodly amounts.
Wow.
And then another player, I can't remember his first name. Last name is Given. But it's spelled with an H or something like that. But anyway, he had a 98-yard kickoff return. So this, for us, this is our best chance at a state title too. So, we're kind of Georgia people are kind of in the same boat this year with a lot of stuff.
Is this kid potentially the next new Nick Chubb, given the part of the state he's from? Wouldn't go that far.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, I'm not.
No, what
comparison just yet, but yeah.
See, a junior or senior? What
Malachi, I believe, is a junior.
So see, he could still.
He's got one more year in him, obviously, and I think
put on all kinds of muscle. And
they're both juniors.
Wow,
I think they're both juniors. Don't quote me on that.
Which bodes well with you guys if that's
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I remember the days of going, 2-8, 3-7, and this is insane to watch. I've watched them on a few occasions back home, and whoo, like I said, just remember that name, Malachi Singleton. Next year, Singleton. We'll see where he goes. Georgia's on the short list.
Well, of course, yeah.
Of course, yes.
Until Rodney Garner gets down there and gets into
the yeah. Well,
he worked for y'all for years and years and years.
Well, yeah. Things were a little different back then. Yeah. But
all right, Drain, you got anything to say?
Tomorrow we will like I said, 3:30, we're gonna find out. Come about 7:00, we'll know definitively. And a few minutes after the time expires in the game, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to leave. We're going to have to stay for the whole thing. One way.
Oh, yeah.
In order for a bet that is not going to be named on this show, but has been discussed, which will be recorded.
Mm-hmm.
It will be recorded and can be uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
So
it will be uploaded to here.
yes, or to that other show.
I've still got to figure some of that out.
And well, that's what
I got a lot of it figured
Blast this
out.
thing all over everything in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
There's been a slight addendum to it, of which he has agreed. So.
I have agreed to it. It's not that heinous. It's not that heinous. No.
Yeah, no.
He'll have to do the same thing.
All right. Speaking of betting and such,
if I have to, you do too. I mean, come on. It's only fair.
But how can he be my daddy? It's his first year.
Okay.
I will pimp those dreams out to anybody that will listen.
I'll figure something out. Yeah.
I will pimp us out to anybody that will listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I just played poker last night and sat there for 2 or 3 hours playing No Limit Poker, Chattanooga, No Limit Pub Poker, something like that. There's your shout out. Pretty good people there. I enjoyed myself. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say, except when I leave you two blank and do this. All right, Georgia, you're number one. I've heard it for years and years and years. This is our year. This is our year. Well, you're facing us, Tennessee Vols. We'll see what you got. We're going to bring everything we can. And on that note, we're out.